Hi, I'm Brevin, and this is my postmortem video for Project 2 for IGME.470. And in Project 2, we've been tasked with creating an alt controller, just like I just said, the name of the project. And for my project, I decided to create a reaction time game that gives you real feedback so you know how fast you're actually reacting as you're playing the game. And before I talk more about my project as a whole, I'm going to cut to a video of my circuit in action and just me playing the game. So yeah, I'll see you in half a minute. So yeah, so that was my project in action. You probably noticed a few things, but I'll give a quick rundown of how it works. So to start, it just prompts you to hit the button to start the game. And then after that, it'll start a little countdown, counting down from three so that you know the game's about to start. And then after that, it'll tell you to wait for the LED to turn on. So I have it set that between 1 and 5 seconds, it'll pick a random delay before the LED turns on. So then once the LED turns on, it'll uh, it'll start like counting down after that. And once you hit the actual push button, that time the countdown from when the LED turns on is your reaction time. So it'll tell you your reaction time was 200 milliseconds, or if you really slow reaction time and it took you 2 full seconds to react, it would say 2000 milliseconds. So that way you actually know how long it's taking you, and you're not just kind of guessing like, oh, I felt like I was faster, I felt like I was slow. Like you actually know, you have that information, which I think is really cool. And yeah, so that's just my project as a whole. The thing I'd probably be most proud of is just that it works so smoothly. Like there isn't really any bugs or kinks with it that I've run into yet. I mean, originally I was really struggling with the LCD display and the code because at first I was just kind of mimicking, I think it was homework 11 that we used the LCD display in, and I was struggling to get it to work for what I wanted it to do. But after some research and just messing around a little bit, I was able to get my code and everything working as intended, and the LCD display works perfectly fine, and it definitely makes the experience a lot better. Being able to give you that real-time feedback is probably the most important thing to me in this project. And then as far as challenges, I mean, that was probably my biggest challenge was just relearning how to use the LCD display and just making it work for my project specifically, as opposed to what we used it for in homework 11 with the crystal ball. But yeah, and then aside from that, probably any recommendations I'd have for people working on this project in the future. I hate to reiterate because I know I said this in my last video, but honestly, the biggest piece of advice I could give anybody is to just like be prepared and just start thinking about this project ahead of time. Because if you have like an idea in your mind of what you want to do, you can start working on schematics like right away, and like you know what you want to do for your circuit. Like that's the first thing I did. I hopped right into Tinkercad after the project pitch, and I made my circuit and everything in there. That way I knew what I wanted to do. I had my idea in mind, and all I had to worry about was putting it together and figuring out the code. So that way, if I run into something I struggle with, like the LCD display code, or LCD code, not LCD display, but like the code with my LCD, um, I actually have time to like research and fine tune it, and not just kind of submit whatever I have at the time, because I started working early. But yeah, that would be my piece of advice again. And if I could think of anything new, I guess it would just be to research what you're doing, because, like for example, my LCD display, not everything we learned in homework 11 was able to help me understand how it worked. So I did some research on the specific part and found out what each pin did. So I was able to set it up accordingly and do my code properly. So yeah, so start your project ahead of time. Start thinking like even a week or two before it's even starting, and just do some research on your parts. If you're confused, there's probably a solution out there somewhere. Like thousands, if not millions, of other people have worked with these parts before. So there's probably an answer to your problem online. But yeah, that's all for my project too, and I hope you enjoyed this very short video, and goodbye.